All right, another requested topic. Here's 5 tips on feeding your young toddler. Because let's face it, you could have followed all the recommendations when introducing solids, and you get to a year and your baby is accepting the majority of the foods you offer, and things are going great. And then all of a sudden, dun, 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 the toddlerism sets in, and they're eating like a bird some days, and they're refusing the foods they once used to love. Well, rest assured, all of that is normal. From birth to the first year of age, the growth is exponential. They're still growing after that point, of course, but the rate slows a little bit. Adjust the calorie needs, and they're kind of naturally in tune to that. Toddlers are also exercising their independence and their choice and become very demanding, so that's all a part of it too. So tip number 1, probably the most important one, is it's the responsibility of the parent, caretaker, or guardian as to what is offered at mealtime and snack time. It's the child's responsibility how much of that to eat. So you're responsible for what to offer, they're responsible for how much to eat. So you want to make sure you're offering those nutrient-dense foods with high nutrient levels in them. Fruits, vegetables, nut butters, beans, lean meats, eggs, some dairy, some whole grains. Really limiting the FMNV foods, as we call it, foods of minimal nutritional value. These foods are going to supply calories, yes, but the nutrient level is going to be very low, and the majority of the nutrients they're going to offer is going to be carbohydrates, sugar, fat, and salt. And remember, we are still exposing that palate. We're still molding it. We're also role modeling those healthy behaviors, exposing them. We can go 2 months where broccoli is not even allowed on the plate, but I'll still offer it because I know I'm supposed to, and the next thing you know, he mows down on it and asks for seconds. You just never know, so keep working at it. Tip number 2, growth charts. When they go to every well check, they're plotting measurements on their growth charts, making sure that their growth is following the natural J-like curve. We don't want any high spikes or any dips. And your pediatrician's helping you watch for that. So are they growing well? Tip number 3, iron levels. At the 1-year checkup, well check, they're going to check for iron levels, but pediatricians typically don't do it again until 11 years of age. However, you can request it annually after that, which is a good idea. So how do you keep your iron levels up in a child? You want to make sure that some of the foods you're offering are iron-containing foods. Go ahead and Google National Institutes of Health Iron Fact Sheet. It's the first or second resource that pops up. You can find some answers there as to what foods those are. And also, one way to keep iron up is you're going to want to make sure that dairy is not the sole part of the diet. Yes, it's a nutrient-dense food, but if your child is drinking milk the majority of the day and choosing yogurt and cheese, then milk is actually, and the dairy is actually displacing other iron-containing foods, because remember, they're not eating a whole lot, but also the calcium in dairy competes for absorption with iron in other foods. So something to take a look at. And since we're on the topic of beverage, this is a whole nother tip outside of this, but we really want to avoid fruit juice, even 100% fruit juice and other sugar-sweetened beverages during these years. Tip number 4, family-style meals. As tough as it can be, even if it's for 10 minutes, try to eat together with no electronic distraction. There's a lot of documented social, emotional, and physical benefits from that. And tip number 5, remember those brownie bites trays that we use to freeze pureed baby food? These are great for freezing table food. Cooked ground meats or diced meats, cooked beans from dry or even from the can emptied out into here, or cooked vegetables, freeze them. Then you'll always have some nutrient-dense foods, and a couple of those were high iron-containing foods, always on hand when you need, so you're not cooking all the time. So at the end of the day, I have to ask myself 3 questions on those tough food-like days with your kiddo is, am I happy with what I offered? And is the growth reflected well on the growth charts, and are the iron levels good? And if the answer is yes to all of those, I do give myself a pat on the back. I finish the day with a glass of wine, and guess what? We're doing the best that we can, and that's all that you can do. I know it's easier said than done. I'm in the trenches with you, but just keep it up. You're doing great. Don't be so hard on yourself. Until next time, bye.